Hari Om Yogis. Today we're going to take a Manipura chakra practice. Manipura is the solar plexus chakra. It is just above, it's right here. And this chakra is about your digestive system, and it's about how you digest. So it's about what you're digesting literally as you eat, but it's also about how you're digesting things that we are going through right now. So how are you digesting? How are you processing what is happening in our lives right now? And as we practice today, I want you to become aware of or allow yourself to explore the question, who am I? We find ourselves in a situation where the normal things that we are used to defining us have been taken away. So inside the four walls, or however many walls you have in your home, who are you? And I would encourage you to take a break from the internet. I encourage you to, and I know the irony is not lost on me of this practice, but I would encourage you to try and take breaks from the internet. I find that an overload of the news is a lot of the time not even accurate. There's a lot of fake news going around, and the overload of that in our systems can do more harm than good. I'm not saying don't stay informed. I'm saying limit your access to what you're reading and how much you are taking in, as that is part of what you are digesting. And if you're not digesting it well, or you're overloading that digestive system, in the same way if you overate, so if you overeat, it's very difficult for the digestive system to digest your overconsumption. The same applies for how much we're taking in mentally, physically, and emotionally. So my recommendation to you is, if you can, pause a little bit on what you're taking in from the internet. That would be super helpful. And then again, asking yourself the question, who am I? Who am I in this time? When I don't have the usual things around me to reflect myself, to me, then who am I? How am I responding? How am I digesting? Who am I? So just take a nice deep breath in and exhale, sigh it out. Just allow the eyes to gently close and bring your awareness to your breath. Sitting up nice and tall, in whatever position is comfortable for you, and just begin to notice. Just begin to notice the breath. Just begin to notice how you are feeling today. Noticing if you would like to take the palms up or down. Noticing that soft bend in the elbow. Feeling your sit bones grounded to the earth. And then on your next inhale, lengthening through the spine. Imagining that movement starting at the ground, starting at your sit bones. And as you inhale, lengthening into the spine. And on your exhale, just softening the chin in towards the chest. Just taking a moment there, extending into the back of the neck. Inhale the head back up to center. Inhale as you exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. To center, exhale right ear to right shoulder. Just noticing how that feels, what you can feel where. And inhale to center, and staying there, keeping the chin parallel to the ground, and coming to a full yogic breath. Taking the breath all the way down to the lower belly, the middle lungs, and the upper lungs. Inhaling from navel to neck and exhaling from neck to navel. Last round. next breath, gently blinking the eyes open, as if you're waking up from a nice long nap. And we're going to come into a Kapalbhati, the breath of fire. Sometimes it's directly translated to frontal lobe cleansing. So I'm changing the way that I'm sitting, but you are welcome to stay in whatever position you are sitting in. I like to take my Kapalbhati in a Vajrasana. You can sit on a prop or a block or a bolster, whatever you got at home, a couple of books. But if you're happy in Sukhasana or in a cross-legged position, that's also fine. I just like to sit like this because it gives the respiratory system a little bit more room. So your Kapalbhati, if you are comfortable and familiar with Kapalbhati, you go ahead and you do your thing and try to take between 2 and 3 rounds, a round being between 30 and 50 pulses. I lose count, so don't worry too much about that if you lose counts. But essentially, we're looking at inhaling, and then as we exhale, drawing the belly to the spine. The emphasis is on the exhale. So the exhale is a sharp, quick motion, and the inhale happens almost of its own accord, almost as a secondary byproduct. You can do this fast or slow. So I'll start slow so that you can see what this looks and feels like. If you've gone ahead already, you just carry on. So you're going in and out through the nostrils. You can see why it's called frontal lobe cleansing. You're clearing out the nasal passages in the nostrils, behind the nostrils, and you're balancing the right and left side of the brain. You go slow if you need to. If you've completed your rounds, then just allow the eyes to close and sit quietly and allow the breath and the heart rate to come back to something a little bit more normal. I'm going to do one more round. You can join me if you like. This is my boy Rabubi. Inhale. So Kapalbhati creates a lot of heat in the body. It's one of the practices that I like to do quite a lot during winter. It gets the digestive fires going. Because we're using the abdominal muscles, and the digestive system is right behind the abdominal muscles. So as you breathe correctly, as you're using your abdominal muscles and your diaphragm to help you breathe, you're engaging and stimulating the digestive system. And last breath. If you are still seated in Sukhasana, then come up onto your knees and let's all meet in all fours. And moving through some cat and cow. Inhaling on the upward motion, exhaling on the down. You're very welcome to explore some more organic movement. If you're unsure, then stick with your cat cow, but otherwise you're welcome to just check in with your body now. Who am I? And what do I need for today? So taking any organic movement here that feels good for you. If you're still unsure about that, if you're not sure who you are in these crazy times, then you stick with your cat and cow. So this is one of those examples where sticking to a routine can help you with your mental health. In a time of anxiety and fear, routine is really helpful. And last breath. Let's warm a little into the wrists, taking the fingers out to the edges of your mat and sort of rocking from side to side. Rapupi, he's so rude. Rocking from side to side. Making sure that you're engaging the upper body and you're not just dumping all of your weight into your wrists. And then turn the fingers towards the knees. Spread those fingers nice and wide. And then taking your cat-cow here with your fingers pointed towards your knees. So inhaling on the upward motion, untucking the tailbone. Exhaling, rounding the back. 2 more. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And then tuck the toes and drop your bottom down towards your heels, dragging the heels of your hands a little further away from the floor. Spread those fingers, thumb and pinky finger especially. Draw the heels of the hands back, getting this really great stretch into the forearms and warming the wrists. And last breath. Inhaling up, release the hands. Let's come to toe tuck. Resting the bottom on the heels. Inhale the arms up. Clasp the fingers above the head. Turn your palms to face the ceiling and really dig into the knuckles. Get your fingers really tight in there. And then drawing your pinky fingers down towards the ground behind you. Your shoulders will creep up into your ears. Draw them away and then try to take those hands a little further back. Notice if you've allowed a little bit of a excessive curvature in the lower back and get your pelvis into neutral. So lift your bum a little bit if you need to. And then draw your bottom ribs, your floating ribs back in. So we don't want this excessive swing of the rib cage. Control it. And come back to the breath. And come back to Manipura. Your abdominal muscles. Woo! Feel that stretch in the upper arm. Inhale, exhale, gently release. Oh, my wedding ring has just come off. And arms around the back, clasp fingers, lift the chest, open the heart. If you are very bendy in the back, you can drop down onto your knuckles and push your heart a little further open. If that is not you, stay here. You'll know if that's not you. Don't go down there if it doesn't feel safe. Inhale, exhale, soften the chin into the chest, maybe lifting the arms a little higher if your knuckles aren't on the floor. And last breath. Bend into those elbows, release. If you are still in your toe tuck, good job. And release the toes. Let's take a little stretch onto the tops of the ankles. So you're either just gonna sit down to Vajrasana, that's stretching the tops of your ankles quite nicely, or wrists below the shoulders, lift the knees off the floor with the tops of your feet grounded. Level 1 is here, lifting the breastbone, rounding the back a little bit, but you want to activate these serratus anterior, the muscles along the side of the body. So imagine that you're taking the inside edge of your shoulder and screwing it towards the outside edge of your shoulder. So it's not just a lifted breastbone and a rounded back. You're activating those muscles along the side of the body as well. So level 1 is just hovering the knees off the floor. Level 2, straightening the legs a little bit. Level 3, all the way up into a little bit of a down dog on top of those toes. This is advanced. Please be careful and kind. And last breath. Release down. Walk your hands forward into a melting heart. Tuck the tailbone up and rest either the cheek, the chin, or the forehead on the ground. Make this an active melting heart. So come up onto your fingertips, temple the fingers. Again, draw the shoulders away from the ears. And actively draw the belly to the spine. Even a little bit of an Uddiyana sensation. If you don't know what Uddiyana is, don't worry about it today. Draw that belly tightly to the spine. Last breath. Flatten your left hand down to the ground. Keep your forehead on the floor. Bring your right hand below your shoulder. Inhale, twist. Press into the floor with both hands. Draw your elbow tight into your waist and just look beyond it. Ooh. Maybe even dropping the ear towards the ground. Oh, such a good twist. So the twist is happening in the shoulders more than it is in the thoracic or the lumbar spine. It's in the upper body. And last breath, release forehead down to the ground. Swap sides. Oh, take a moment in that melting heart to readjust.
Stay with your breath. And then bringing that left hand below the shoulder, lift the forehead off the floor, elbow tight into the body, and then look beyond that shoulder, pressing both hands strongly into the ground. Letting the right ear drop towards the ground, no tension in the neck. Your left bicep is working really hard. Last breath, release, come back to melting heart. Take a moment. Inhale, exhale. Last breath. Walk the hands back slightly. Far enough to tuck your toes under, push up, downward facing dog. First dog of the day. So pedal into it, or maybe it's not your first dog of the day, but it's the first dog of this hour. Draw the heels down to the ground. And then again, this feeling of rotating the shoulders outwards. So we're looking for this inner edge of the shoulder. Imagine you're moving it towards the outer edge of the shoulder. And then we're activating those muscles along the side of the body as well. The back and the side of the body. Come to some stillness in your dog. Try to keep your ears in line with your arms. If your heels are flat on the ground, then lift your toes up. And if you feel like you've got quite a round in your back, then bend your knees very slightly and push your bum further back. So worry less about your hamstrings and a little more about your spine. Inhale, exhale. On your next breath, you're going to drop your hips and your bum to the left and your knees and your toes to the right. If you're not feeling very strong or very stable, then you keep both hands on the floor and you swivel on the ball of the foot, just dropping your bum from side to side. Advanced practitioners or regular practitioners, you're welcome to cross the leg over and open the arms up. Going a few times both ways. We're still warming up, so take it easy. Inhale, exhale, last breath. Land back in the dog, tuck the tailbone, roll through to that plank. Again, lift the breastbone. I don't want excessive rounding. Draw the shoulders. Again, elbows slightly towards each other. You're overshooting the wrists very slightly with your shoulders. And you're still looking for that external rotation in the shoulder. Inhale, exhale. On your next breath, come down to the forearms. So we're taking a strong core practice today. Inhale, exhale. Walk yourself up into your dolphin. One or two breaths. If you need to clasp your hands for your dolphin, no problem. Walk back to your plank. Inhale, exhale. One more dolphin. You can do this. Advanced practitioners, strong practitioners, you're welcome to add in any other variations that you like here. Leg lifts, whatever you got going on. Back to your plank. Inhale, exhale, lift those kneecaps. And last breath, knees, hips. You're in a lovely sphinx. Drop the chin down to the chest. Take a breath. And then take your gaze forward. Inhale, exhale. And then slide the elbows out to the side. Come onto your tummy. Extend the arms alongside and turn your cheek to one side. Have a little rest. Inhale, exhale. So we're looking at the core, we're going to use our tummy muscles. Remember when we say core, we don't just mean your tummy muscles, we mean everything between your hips and your shoulders. Everything in the trunk of your body, everything in your torso is your core. So we can do one or two little back bends. Bring the forehead down to the ground. Let's start off with the low cobra. So we took a little sphinx. A little sphinx is a really nice, with not too much effort back bend. So let's start to work a little harder. Lift those kneecaps, point the toes. The legs are active, hands are directly below the shoulders. Inhale up. Release the hands. Squeeze those traps together. Find a sort of a dynamism between your elbows, but keep the neck long. Look either towards the top of your mat or around half a meter ahead. Try to avoid the compression in the neck. See how it changes the way I sound. Inhale, exhale, lift a little higher. Squeeze your glutes, keep those legs active. And release down. Turn the other cheek. Perhaps extending the arms alongside you again. Back bends will take the heart rate up. So feel how you can feel your circulatory system, your heartbeat. And feel how closely it works with your respiratory system, your lungs. And how even closer those two are able to communicate to you how your prana is shifting, your energy. Forehead back to the ground. Keep the arms extended out alongside you. Inhale up, using your back and your belly. Legs are active. Clasp the fingers. Lift the chest, open the heart. Inhale, exhale. Squeeze those trapezius muscles again. They're the muscles that help you draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Keep the neck long, keep the legs active. If you are very bendy in the back, you can lift your legs and tuck your toes into your hands and come to a bow. This is if you are very bendy in the back and you don't need a lot of warming in the spine. So that's not necessarily available to everyone. You may be here in the bow, Dhanurasana, or you may be here, Sarapasana. Inhale, exhale. One more breath wherever you are, and release down. Turn your cheek. Relax the glutes, relax the shoulders, bend the elbows even a little bit. Take a breath. And last breath. Bring the hands below the shoulders. If you're a strong or advanced practitioner, you're pushing straight up through your plank. Otherwise, knees, chest, chin, reverse. Or the forearm cheat. Remember, the forearm cheat is to help you build strength. Try and avoid the scooping. Everybody meeting in downward facing dog. If you don't know what the scooping is and what the forearm cheat is and you want to know, please comment on this and we will do a tutorial for you. We'll show you what the difference is. Inhale, exhale. Taking your first vinyasa. So roll through to plank, your proper first vinyasa. Again, knees, chest, chin, up dog, cobra. I'm going to take knees, chest, chin. But if you are a regular practitioner, you know what you're doing. Cat and cow is also a really nice alternative if you're not feeling as strong as you would like. Take your time with your vinyasas, don't rush them. Inhale, exhale. If you are a regular or advanced practitioner and your jump through is established, then take your jump through. If that is not where you are today, then you will just come down from your dog to your knees, take your feet out to one side, sit down on your bum. Extend the legs out in front of you. Bend the knees, heels in line with your hips, roll down onto your back. Bring the knees to the chest, give them a squeeze. Inhale, exhale. So we're getting into the core. You're either going to take the legs up towards the ceiling, flex them. It's very cold in here where I am, so I've got my little yoga socks on. Hands alongside the body to support you, soften the chin into the chest. So if you find this incredibly difficult and you can't straighten your legs, you work here, you stay here. If you are fine with this and you're an advanced practitioner, you're going to inhale, exhale. On your next inhalation, you're going to extend your right leg and then lift your chest off of the floor. Take your left hand behind your head, cradling the neck, and then reach your right hand to the outside of your left leg. So your right leg is extended out in front of you off of the floor. And you will swap sides. With that exhale. So So you'll do as many of these as you can manage, or you are here. And with these as well, when you need to take a break, bring the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze, and then come back. So wherever you are, 1 or 2 more here. And floint those toes on the extended leg. And last breath, wherever you are, bring the knees to the chest, give them a squeeze. Inhale, exhale, and let's rock along the length of the spine. If you can't rock along the length of the spine, then roll over onto your side and push yourself up to seated and then standing. If you can enjoy the roll, rock yourself straight up to standing. Adjust your pants and come to Tadasana. Lift those toes, lift those kneecaps, have a look down to the toes, and then separate them, spread them, one at a time. Lift the kneecaps. Pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale the arms up, palms to touch. Take a back bend of your choice. If you are very bendy in the back, you can keep the legs straight and arch back. If you need to bend the knees and push the hips forward, no problem. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down, flat back. Let's take a beautiful ragdoll. If you're warm enough for something else, an Uttanasana or a Padangusthasana, go for that. Otherwise, stick with the ragdoll. Nod the head yes, shake the head no, relax the jaw. Inhale, exhale, last breath. Bend into the knees, fingertips in line with toe tips. Inhale, float your right leg back to that lunge. We're fairly warm. If you need to drop the back knee down and go to a low lunge, no problem. Otherwise, rolling up to a high lunge. Bring the hands to prayer at the heart center. Lift that back knee nice and strong. Make sure the front ankle is directly below the front knee. Come to prayer. Lift those elbows. Inhale as you exhale. Take your right elbow over your left knee and twist. Looking to the top elbow. If this is fairly comfortable for you, you can open your right hand so your shoulder and your torso must mostly be over this knee to open up. If you are comfortable with the bind and you know the bind, you're welcome to go to the bind. Inhale, exhale, last breath. Cartwheel that left hand down. Come back up to your prayer. Inhale the arms up. Open up to the 2. Inhale, exhale. Straighten the front leg. Walk your back in slightly. And we're going to revolve the triangle. So inhale. As you exhale, so we're doing some twists, obs. Gliding your arms, slicing them through the room, and then slice your right hand across. You may need to step this back leg in even more. No problem. And then hand comes down, right hand on the outside of left foot. You may need to use your block or your Shantaram or your Quran. A nice thick book is my point. Inhale, left arm up. If left arm is not going up, you can rest left arm on the small of the back. Take the crown of the head forward. Try and get some rib rotation. Lift the kneecaps. Try to get the shoulders to stack. Inhale, exhale. Last breath. Push into the front hand and then swing your left hand down and past your hip. So open back up again to your 2. Hold your 2 for a moment. Gaze over the front fingertips. Who am I? Who am I when I'm angry? Who am I when I'm afraid?
How do I react? Do I react or do I respond? Am I reactionary at this time? Who am I? Inhale. Exhale. Keep those hands active. Cartwheel the hands down. Left hand to the outside of the front foot. Sweep that right arm up and over. Get all the way into that shoulder joint. So don't rush that. Swivel back to the lunge. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. From here, take your back knee, your right knee, and place it on the floor behind your left ankle. Shift your right foot slightly further out so that you can sit down, setting up for half spinal twist. Now, if this bottom leg doesn't want to be here, you can extend it, no problem. Half spinal twist. Right hand comes out behind you, left hand. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, take that elbow over the knee. If you can't get the elbow over the knee, then just hug the knee into the chest. Breathe. Soften the back shoulder down. Only taking the neck and the gaze as far as the cervical spine, the neck will allow you. Variations here are welcome. I quite like to reach for my foot. It makes me feel like I'm double jointed. I'm not. Inhale, exhale. Obviously a bind. You can take a bind here if you'd like to take a bind.
There is a center in the body where love and spirit are joined.
Inhale,
And
exhale.
that center is the heart.
And last breath. Drop the chin across the chest.
Fulfills
Come back to center.
that feels compassion.
And then take your bottom leg out. Take your top leg out. Get up onto your sit bones. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, touching your toes isn't actually the point. So if you're rounding quite a lot in the back in the hope to get to your toes, put your hands flat on the floor next to your legs. Draw your chest forward. Pull your chest in between your upper arms. So if this is as far as you get with a nice long spine, I don't say straight. Your spine is not straight, it can never be straight. Long. Inhale, exhale. Maybe you can walk those hands a little bit closer to your feet. Maybe not. And last breath. Walk it back. Take the feet out to the right hand side. Come on up. Take a cat, take a cow. And tuck the toes, downward facing dog. If you'd like to roll through a vinyasa here, you're welcome to roll through a vinyasa. Or you can hold your dog. Or you can come down and take a rest. Or you can drop back down and do cat and cow. So there's lots of options there. Whatever you do, don't rush that vinyasa, take your time. Inhale, exhale. Everybody meeting back in the dog. Look towards hands, step your right leg in between hands. Drop the left heel. Open up. No, I'm lying. Sorry, we're staying here. You can drop the back knee down or keep it lifted to your high lunge. Lift that back knee strongly. Bring the hands to prayer at the heart center. Lift the elbows. Inhale as you exhale, taking the left elbow over the right knee. And open up. Again, if you have got your elbow over the knee, you can open that arm up and extend. Still trying to stack those shoulders. Whoop. And last breath, sweep that right hand past your hip. Open up. High lunge, warrior two. Inhale, exhale. Straighten that front leg, walk your back leg in. We're revolving the triangle, so if you need to reach for your prop before we go there, you can have this prop at whatever height you need it at. From here, slice the arms through the plane.
When you've twisted as far as you can, take that left arm and slice it again through the diagonal. Left hand comes to the outside of the front foot. If you can't reach there even with the prop and you need to put your hand on the inside of the front foot, no problem. So you can still put your prop wherever you need it. You maybe need to bring that back leg in a little bit. Inhale up. Crown of the head moving towards the top of your mat. Breathe. Lift the kneecaps. Stack the shoulders. Maybe you can take your gaze towards the ceiling. Keep that bottom shoulder nice and strong. Last breath. Sweep that right hand down. Press into the left hand. Pull it up. Come back to your 2. Gaze over the front fingertips. Lunge a little deeper. Inhale, exhale. Last breath. Cartwheel the hands down on either side of the front foot. Swivel to the lunge. Bring your left knee behind your right ankle. Take your left foot slightly out to the side. Have a sit down. Setting up for your half spinal twist. Right hand behind you. Make sure that both hips, both sit bones are grounded down. If in this case, your right hip wants to pop up, draw it back down. Inhale, left arm up. Get space in the waist. Exhale, twist. Soften the back shoulder. Try to make sure that your hand is quite close to your lower back, because you don't want to be leaning out behind you. You're trying to help elevate the spine. Find a little softness here in the breath. Try to soften the rib cage a little bit. I like to check in with my neck here. And last breath. Gently sliding the chin across the chest. Coming back to center. Take the bottom leg out. Take the top leg out. Coming back to Dandasana. Get up onto those sit bones, flex the feet. Inhale the arms up, soften the shoulders. Lift out of the waist, out of the hips. Fold forward, Paschimottanasana. Again, touching the toes isn't as important as keeping the spine long. So take the hands off the feet or off the legs, wherever you're trying to reach, and draw the chest in between the upper arms. When you've gone as far as you can manage, you can soften the chin into the chest without allowing the entire back to ground. Take a good deep breath in and let the exhale travel you down. Draw the belly to the spine. And last breath, inhaling up, exhaling the hands out to the side, take your feet to the left, rolling up to all fours, either staying down here for a cat-cow or taking yourself straight up to downward facing dog, and then again either holding the dog, rolling through to plank for a vinyasa, or taking a rest. If you need to take a rest, take a rest. Time with your vinyasa. Inhale, exhale. And last breath, everybody meeting up in the dog. Take a moment, come to toes, lift heels, ribs to thighs. Take your right leg up, your left heel down. Open that hip, we're nice and warm. Point the toes, and then flex the foot. Square the shoulders off. Close your right shoulder in. Inhale as you exhale. You're either going to just take this right leg it through between your left hand and foot and sit straight down into a Bridget's cross, looking over the right shoulder. Or you're going to do one or two things before that. So if you know that you don't have the energy to go further than this, you come straight through to your Bridget's cross right now. You walk your hands around and you fold forward. If you're up for a little bit more than that, then you'll take your right leg through, you'll take hold of the outside edge of your right foot, and you'll extend it with the left arm. And then you'll do one more. You'll drop the heel to the bum and you'll open up to your wild thing. So you're either holding your Bridget's cross, or you've taken the wild thing. Let's take one more here. Grab that foot, take it through. Everybody land in Bridget's cross. So we're twisting again. Walk the hands around. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. I quite like to take my right hand behind me and just soften it down for a moment, extending it, palm facing up. But then your left hand is still holding you up. And release. Walk yourself back. From here, I'm going to turn around so you can see me, but basically what you're going to do is open your legs out wide. So you'll also have to turn around so you can see me. So turn around and just open your legs out wide. Flex the feet. Sit up tall. Check in with the neck. Fold forward. Again, draw the chest in between the upper arms. Keep the feet engaged. Keep the feet flexed. I think you may not be able to see me. I'm going to move back. Here we go. And fold forward. Soften the chin into the chest. Keep those toes pointing up towards the ceiling and keep breathing. Last breath. Walk the hands back. Bring your hands underneath your knees. Help them together. And then from here, adjust as you need to come back onto your mat. And then keep your left knee close into your chest. Extend your right leg along the floor. Bend your right knee until you can take hold of the outside of your right foot with your left hand. Put your right hand on the floor to support you. Inhale. Extend that leg. Now, if you can't reach the outside of your foot anymore, take your right hand out behind you so you can lean on it, and then just hold on wherever you can. You may then need to put your hand on the inside of the leg and help to hold the calf up. What's important is that you don't slump and round into the back. So you're either here, and maybe you don't need the hand. If you don't need the hand, extend it out behind you. If you do need the hand, keep it on the floor. Help to lift the calf with the spine elevated. So you're either here, here, or here. Breathe. Perhaps looking behind you to the extended hand. And last breath. Gently release. Put your right hand on the floor. Walk your left foot a little further away. Come to a figure 4. Use both hands to support you. Let your right knee just drop out. Flex the right foot for a moment. And if you need more intensity here, if your hips are quite open, then you'll come onto the knife edge of that right foot and slide the knife edge onto the thigh. Now draw your left heel closer towards your bottom. Your bottom. Keep drawing that knee away. Keep lifting the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, exhale. Who am I? You may have a already heard a few little filters come up for you. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, whatever your occupation is, I'm a teacher. These are just labels. They don't define you. Who are you? And last breath. Extend that left leg. Keep your right leg where it is. And if you can, draw it all the way up a little further over, up onto the thigh. Lovely. If you can't, just keep it above the knee. No problem. Inhale, flex that extended leg. Arms up. Exhale, reach forward. If this is really easy for you, you'll go for the bind. Take the right arm around the back. I like to use my left hand to help draw my foot a little closer. Then I've got my bind. Inhale up, exhale, fold. You don't have to do the bind. You can do this without the bind. You're just folding forward. And last breath. Good job. Gently release. Lean back, take your right foot off of your right leg. Take the legs out to the right. Inhale up. Either stick with cat-cow as your vinyasa or pop up to the dog and roll through to plank. Taking your vinyasa or hold the dog. Don't rush that vinyasa. If you're in vinyasa, squeeze the inner ankles towards each other, micro bend the elbows, lift the hips. If you're in your up dog. Everybody meeting in the dog. Take a moment. Come to toes, lift heels, ribs to thighs. Left leg up. Now you know where we're going. Point the toes, flex the foot, square the shoulders off. Inhale. If you're going to take it easy, you're just going to take that left leg in between the right hand and foot, stretch it out, sit down into Bridget's cross. Try and take your legs a little bit wider and walk yourself around into the twist. If you're not doing that and you're going further, you're taking the leg in between the hands and foot, reach for the outside, extend it, lift it, take it back up to the split, heel to bottom, wild thing. One more time, leg up, take it through, hold onto the outside edge, lift it as high as you can, drop your bum down, and then settle in, everyone meeting in Bridget. Take a little twist, walking those hands as far back behind you as you can before perhaps bowing down. Try to find some softness. Soften the breath. And release. And then again, coming to the wide-legged seated forward fold. If you need to turn around or adjust in any way, doing that. Come up onto those sit bones. Adjust your quads. Flex the feet, and then we're going to hold it like a yin this time. So you can relax the ankles, relax the knees, and we'll hold it a little bit longer. Inhale, lengthen, and in this instance with the yin pose, it's fine to let the back round. However, I still want you to feel the initial hinge happening at your hips. The hinge in the forward fold is always coming from your hips, not your back. Your spine follows through with what the pelvis is doing. So relax the ankles, relax the knees. If this is as far as you get, no problem. Soften the chin into the chest, let the back round. If you can go a little further, then you go as far as you can manage. Remembering that our yin practice focuses on connective tissues, joints, ligaments. So in this instance, I want your joints and your fascia, your connective tissues to get a bit of love. It's less about your muscles. Last breath. Gently rolling up. Bring the hands underneath the knees, help them together. And then we are coming to the other side. So draw your right knee in, extend your left leg for a moment, sit up tall, get up onto those sit bones. And then bend the left knee, and you're supported by your left hand now, and you're reaching to the outside of your left foot with your right hand. So we're twisting again. Inhale, sit up tall, extend that left leg. Maybe you need the support of the left hand, maybe you don't, and you can twist, take your gaze towards the arm behind you. Maybe you're supporting the calf with your right hand, and you need the support of your left hand. Try and make sure that the foot that is grounded is supporting you as well. So if you need to take that a little further out to the side to distribute your weight more evenly, that's totally possible. Inhale, exhale, last breath, release, taking your left foot onto your right thigh. If you need a little more intensity, knife edge. That's not for you, then ankle. Start with the heel, your right heel a little further away initially. Just lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the heart, maybe drop the head back. Take a breath. And then draw your right heel closer to your buttocks. Hip opener. Keep drawing the left knee away. Spread wide into your fingers. Lift the chest. Try not to collapse into the spine. Extended leg away, and then you're either keeping the ankle just above the knee, if that's better for you, extended leg flexed, or you're going to work that foot a little higher up onto the thigh crease, drawing the knee down to the ground, extended leg active. Inhale, arms up, soften shoulders, exhale, fold forward. If you're going for the bind, the left hand is coming around the back. Again, if you need to use that right hand to just help you bring your tootsies in to grab them. So bind or no bind. Whatever you're doing, trying to lengthen the spine and not just round into the back. Once you've gone as far as you can manage, you can soften the chin into the chest again without just collapsing. Keep this extended leg active, maybe you pistol grip it. And last breath. Gently release. Take your feet out to the left. Come up, last vinyasa. So you're either cat and cowing, which is perfectly reasonable, or you're popping up to the dog and holding the dog, or you're taking your vinyasa. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you need. Maybe you're resting already and you've had enough. I'm opting for cat and cow. And everybody meeting, once you have completed your vinyasa, everyone meeting in open-kneed extended child. And letting this be passive, so there's no need to come onto the fingertips or lift the forearms. Let the forearms bend a little bit, soften the forehead down to the ground. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, side out. And asking yourself again, am I processing things okay? Am I digesting things okay? And the answer to this question isn't right or wrong.
The answer to this question is not about whether you're doing it right. The answer to this question is about whether you're giving yourself enough room to process, enough space to digest what you need to digest. There is a lot going on. There's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of fear. Who are you in this time?
And last breath. Walk the hands up towards the knees. Bring the knees together, taking our second last twist. Coming to Vajrasana. Right hand behind you, inhale the left arm up. Exhale, twist, placing the left hand onto wherever you can reach on the right leg. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Again, not yanking or wrenching yourself into this, being cautious with the neck. Perhaps taking the gaze just to the diagonal, not even taking it over the shoulder. Loosen your twist a little bit, soften the breath. Inhale, as you exhale, go back in. And sliding the chin across the chest, come to center. Take a moment here, just rest the hands on the thighs. And breathe. Sliding the left hand to the base of the spine. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Release the twist very gently, very softly, about halfway. Take a moment, breathe. Inhale, as you exhale, soften the breath, soften the belly. And deepen your twist. And sliding the chin across the chest, come back to center. Take your bottom out to one side. Extend the legs out in front of you. Shift your bum down towards your heels, and then either take a reverse plank, pointing the toes, flattening the soles of the feet, lifting the hips, dropping the head back, or a reversed or a tabletop. Lift the hips, straighten the arms. If it's comfortable to drop the head back, go ahead. If not, take your gaze towards your knees. Nice stretch into the triceps here. Inhale as you exhale. A last little bit of core work. Drag your bottom back. Keep your bottom lifted. Then put your bum down. Core and arms there, but mainly core. And then, if you've made your way all the way back to the back of your mat like I have, then shift your bottom back down. Inhale the arms up, roll down. Roll down. Maybe you take a little pulse there, making sure that there's no tension in the neck and the shoulders. Roll down. Take a moment. Bring the knees up. Give them a squeeze. Open up to happy baby. So remembering that this question about who I am is about sifting through those labels that we have been allowing the outside world to define us by. And there's nothing wrong with being a mom, there's nothing wrong with being a wife, there's nothing wrong with being a CEO, there's nothing wrong with being a domestic worker. There's nothing wrong with any of these things. Release the feet down to the ground, come to some windshield wipers. But what's important is that those are not the things that are defining our humanity. They are not defining our spiritual beings. Can you, in this time, allow yourself to be, just be? And I know it's really hard. Windshield wipering side to side, I know that there are many of you who feel trapped inside your houses with your children and your spouses. So I know this is a hard question. Be kind to yourself. I want to invite you to be kinder to yourself than you are being to the people in your home. And I know you're doing your best. I know that you're doing your best. When you've taken your windshield wipers to both sides a couple of times, coming into whatever last thing makes you happy. Maybe it's a last knee squeeze or a last happy baby. Maybe it's a little plow. Nothing too intense, obviously. Things that are easing. And when you've done whatever it is that you need to do, maybe you've already settled into Shavasana, all good. Coming to Shavasana. Extending the legs, making sure that tailbone is tucked, letting the feet flop out to the side. Palms facing up, soften the chin to the chest, allow the eyes to gently close, wriggle and jiggle, and take the movement that you need to take so that you can lie completely still for this most important part of the practice, never to be skipped. One of my favorite teachers, Shasta, says it's the very important work of doing nothing at all. So come back to the breath, and come back to the very important work of doing nothing at all. And this is who you are. You are not a human doing, you are a human being. This is who you are. In this space of stillness, these last few moments of rest, allow this rest to be there more than for your body. This rest is for your soul. This rest is for your heart. This rest is for your spirit. Allow yourself these last few moments to rest. Bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body. Begin to invite movement into the fingers and the toes. Taking a little wiggle, little ankle rotation. Your next breath, inhale the arms above the head and take a good full body stretch. Point the toes, flex the feet, squeeze the buttocks, scrunch up your face. And then bring the knees into the chest and give them a good squeeze. Gently rolling over onto whichever side feels good for you, left or right. Taking a moment there. And using the mantra before you come up, before you come out of the fetal position, just allowing these words to land in you. Treating myself like a precious object will make me strong. Treating myself like a precious object will make me strong.
Keeping the eyes closed, using your top hand to gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bring the hands to prayer at the heart center. We're going to close off today with 3 rounds of Ram. This is the Manipura Bija, the seed mantra for your solar plexus chakra. You can sing along or you can be sung over, no problem. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Beginning to rub the palms together, creating some heat. And placing the palms over the eyes. You don't need to touch your face with your hands if you don't want to. You can just hover the hands above the eyes. And then gently beginning to blink the eyes open, preparing them to see the light. Sliding the hands down from the face. Bringing the hands back to prayer at the heart center. Namaste. Hari Om. That's it. Thanks for joining me in this practice today, guys. If you liked it, please like it. And if you feel like someone would benefit from it, please share it. And if you enjoy some of the content that we're making, please subscribe to our channel. See you next time.
Hey, my boy.
Is that Russell recording?
Ja.